Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state.
All right, well, welcome back to Innovation Unplugged. This is a special edition today for all of our listeners and subscribers and followers. We have now been doing this for a little over a year, so this will mark our 50th, crazy to say, 50th episode. And so we just want to thank you. Thank you for listening and following, and we've seen a lot of growth over the year. And we're talking about how we're going to reflect a little bit and then also kind of project what's coming. So appreciate everybody listening and following, and thank you for being here.
I was driving down this morning going a different direction than I was the day we came up with this idea. Mm-hmm. But I was listening to a podcast, and I was thinking, about all we've done, the guests we've had and the stories we've heard, and that we've done 50 episodes now. Mm-hmm. And this was just like, hey, why don't we do a podcast?
I was going to say, why don't you tell that story? Because I know we've told it.
Yeah.
But probably not in a while.
Yeah. So we all four work in different offices most of the time. You two work together, but a lot of times we're traveling places and we have these group calls, and it's a free for all and all these ideas and like just brainstorming. And early on, when we were really building this plane as we were flying it, one day we were just talking about getting the message out and how much fun it would be to do these different things. And then literally somebody said, why don't we have a podcast? And I think maybe we talked about how effective our group calls were, because we were just like behind a windshield, and then what that mental shutdown is when you're just driving and thinking. And so why don't we? So then I think y'all called Seed Creative like, hey, can we? And they were like, yeah, no problem. We got a great studio. Let's do it. And so we picked a date, and on that same drive, we came up with the title and the format roughly, which was no format, just whatever. Mm-hmm. And then we said, came up with a logo. Mm-hmm. Right, somebody did, and it was like, perfect. Let's go. And then we had, we came and we started. We had no idea,
no clue
what to even say, much like this episode.
Or any episode for that matter.
Yeah, but it's always worked out. And, some guests have crazy stories and some really touching stories. But, yeah, we just really made it up like we do everything else. Mm-hmm. And came up with a good idea.
Most of the creative ideas from this team come out of driving down I-65, north or south, either direction. Somebody on this team is usually on I-65 at that time.
Usually.
Yeah.
A lot like shotgun pellets coming out of a shotgun, just all over the place, and then they just stick, and it's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah. So if this is episode 50, that we've had 48 guests.
Yeah.
48 sessions with guests, and sometimes there are multiple people on the show. First thought, which is unfair for the next two people, but Kayla, first thought, who's your favorite guest? Favorite episode?
LaShonda Hales.
Yeah, good one.
Pass. Let me think.
Pass.
I don't want to.
No whammy.
I need to think that through a second, because there's been so many. Yeah. I'll stop. I'll say, I think it would be Brother Sherman and Brother Ken.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, those
and
guys.
It's not because that's like kind of on the more recent. It's just, and everybody that, I've had the opportunity to sit with, it's so impactful and it's so meaningful. And I don't know, there's just something so connecting, when you sit here and you are looking in people's eyeballs and you see their passion and you see their stories and their sharing. I don't know, there's just kind of a special relationship that you end up with, oddly enough. But I would say them.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. I wasn't here that day, but I could see that very clearly.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. My favorite episode was Rendell and Jackson.
No.
Yeah.
And living free, and just kind of, I don't think any of us ever imagined 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, whenever we started, the impact that Skills for Success would make across the state, and the different ways that people would be introduced to our courses and what impact that would have on their lives. We always thought about, this is ultimately going to lead somebody to help them get a job, but it did so much more than that for these people that work with Living Free. And so that was probably the most touching, moving, and probably proud moment I was of our team, because that wasn't just a given organization to us. Like it meant something to go find how we connect with those people. And then just hearing their stories and the impact that they haven't had one resident leave their program since they started. Like, I don't know what other organization can say that's trying to help people get back on their feet again. So that was definitely one of my favorites.
That was crazy good.
Yeah.
That was crazy good.
They expanded that facility. This is a side note, just for the audience. They expanded that facility, I think, 20 extra beds. And Jackson is a father.
Oh.
And I think he was on his way when he was on the show.
Yeah.
But anyway, I see him all the time, and he's just a little baby girl, and he's like
Sweet.
walking on clouds.
Wow.
Do well
for
works,
him.
He
Yes.
works for Grayson Carter and Sons. Runs an operator of different machines all the time. But certainly
amazing.
has that job, and there are handfuls of those guys that have jobs.
So proud of
Because of our
them.
programs.
That's amazing.
That's very good. My favorite was Sean Wallace in the Sumter County School of Trades. He's got something cooking on March 6th, and I thought about bringing him on next week.
Yeah.
Just as a follow up, because he was the episode 4.
Yeah, it was.
But I don't know that we can get his story in 45 minutes anymore, because it's so big. But
Well, it's such an impact of rural parts of our state that sometimes training doesn't get to. So that was awesome.
And I will say, too, according to our viewership, that was the #1 viewed podcast last year. So I think it is fitting that you invite him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. We're actually going down there on the 25th, not related here, but to plan for that March 6th meeting to make sure that he understands and Selma understands exactly what all we offer now, because we're 6 months later.
Yeah.
Almost 8 months later. So looking forward, so we've had 48 different sessions, and we've had almost every single college on. We've had some presidents. We've had tons of industry partners, and some of them, Chris Strickland's episode, we still use. I use all the time. What are you celebrating in 5 years? What are you toasting to?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And and the toast is different with different audiences, but we asked them that, and they're like, I don't know. Had a conversation with my son about that. Hey, in 5 years, what does success look like to you? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, let's talk about it.
But it's thought provoking.
Plan about it.
That's the thing. I mean, it's even though he may not respond now, or the next person you ask that may not respond now, they probably got in the car or wherever they go to think about those things, and they thought about that, And so just because they didn't have an answer right then doesn't mean it didn't stick, because it's a thought-provoking question.
Do you think that people, when they come on a show like this, or any conversation they have, or that they say, okay, well, I told all this stuff that I'm going to do they go back and reflect on, well, am I doing that the best, or am I doing it the right thing, or should I pivot? Like, do you think that their conversations here lead them to something else?
Oh, yeah. Because it does with us. I mean, even though we're not in studio sometimes and recording with certain guests, like we go back as a team, well, individually, but throughout our team, we're always looking back and reflecting. Like, I'll catch on to things that I didn't catch on to during the recording that I'm like, hey, this was awesome. I didn't even think of this. Like, let's dig into this a little bit more. And I know every one of y'all have done the same thing, and other members of our Innovation Center team, because we learn so much. And I think some of it is in the moment we learn, but also we learn how that can help other colleges too.
Yeah.
Like things that are working that we're like, oh gosh, y'all did it that way. We've never thought about that. Like, that was awesome.
Such a way to share.
Yeah.
Truth bomb, though, I very rarely go back and listen to my own.
Yeah, it's hard.
I don't. Do you?
I hate listening to myself.
I hate listening to my
Rarely.
own, but I do, because I always want, I don't feel like I listen very well when I'm talking. And so I want to go back and hear what they had to say, because I feel like I missed something.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, this gives everyone a platform to hear how we think about a certain thing, but at the same time, we're able to see, I don't know, it's when you ask questions or pull something out of someone on camera, it helps them cultivate their story, but it's better than written word. Sometimes it's better than a video that we pieced together and made it look perfect and beautiful. But on a podcast, you kind of get that raw emotion, you get the raw questions, or maybe you're put on the spot. But I mean, clearly our viewership, they like it. So I just think it's a good platform for people to share their story and then really reflect and maybe what I could change or do better. And so I think we've had some good feedback on that. So I would agree that they do reflect.
I think so. what's the most surprising thing about this? Like, so we say, hey, we're going to do this, and we're accustomed to not having expectations. We just let things happen. We have a plan, audience. Okay,
We never have a plan.
We always have
Never.
No, I
never
think
a plan.
it's the more how natural the conversations actually happen.
Yeah.
Because everybody, like, as guests come in and say, oh, do we have a script? Do you have questions for me? And we're like, nope. Sorry. It is a conversation. And those are the best episodes of conversations, is just that natural, talking and kind of peppering them with our own questions. And they're never the same to every guest because they're all individuals. So
Oh, absolutely.
And
I'm
different
not sure
colleges.
if there's ever been a duplicate, honestly, other than maybe like, what are you doing with Skills for Success? I mean, that's,
and like telling about yourself and
something,
like your background,
something like
but
that.
that's all. That's it. So if you're going to be a guest in the future, that's all you get. Tell us about yourself.
What if somebody else hosted?
Yeah.
What's happening?
You want to tell about that now?
Yeah, so we see, like, why not?
Just we were going down I-65 the other day.
Again, yeah, and so our best
Somewhere on a country road.
but it's fresh, and we are the whole program has grown. Our team has grown. We have 21 people now. I think we had 10 when we started this.
I don't even know.
No, not even that. Maybe 8. So we've doubled. But with that comes more time. And so us 4, we have to go and do different things, and we're creating on different levels and gathering and guiding and jumping into new areas. And so we've turned over some things to the managers and coordinators, but this is one of them. And so starting after today, next week, we'll have our first run with some of the other team members leading the show. And
new co-hosts
don't know
coming
what it's gonna
soon.
be. Yeah. So we're going to let them have that opportunity when they meet people. Or see an event or hear a story, they can cultivate and bring it on and guide them, and they'll do better. It'll be different and fun,
sure.
but I cannot wait to see. So in sometime next week, actually, Rachel Lesko and Destiny Smith and John Mully are coming on, and just the 3 of them, and I have no idea what they're going to do, and I really don't care.
I have an idea,
Yeah.
and so that's so along the original reason I went ahead and said, hey, let's just go ahead and out this, is because as we hear those next hosts asking questions about, how do y'all prepare? We do not. What kind of questions do you ask? Whatever we want. What kind of agenda do you have? We never have one. And so
What do you wear?
Feel free, this is like a concept of live free, like live free in the moment, because that is exactly how we started. And that's how today kind of not ends, because, we'll be back. It was just ultimately, kind of passing the mic or
peppering in our different team members.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will still see us at some point throughout episodes, but we
Sure.
want to give the opportunity for everybody to share.
Because there's
their
more at the
encounters.
Innovation
Yes.
Center than
Yes.
these 4 people. There's 21 people and, thousands over the state. And we've tried to bring, as many of those people in as we can. But they will definitely bring in new ideas and new blood and new questions and new perspectives that, will probably invigorate this podcast even further.
And
so
some
we're
fun
excited.
personalities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some of our team members kind of blossom.
Totally.
Because
Totally.
you asked, what is most surprising about this? I think from the beginning, y'all know sometimes I don't love doing the podcast. However, it's one of those things that when you exercise, you never say wish I didn't do that. But with these, we always have a really good time. And I think we have some team members that have really good stories to tell. They have a lot of different perspectives. And giving them the opportunity, I hope that you embrace it and share your story because everyone needs to know. And it's different coming from the person who was there at the lab, right? So,
Well, and I think that's important because I've heard that too. Well, hey, I know that, this person or that person, they don't necessarily love doing that. So it brings them, those that are coming behind, it brings them
I don't love it. It's always fun, but it's not something I always go,
You don't regret it.
I'm going to be so great at this, because you always downplay what you can do because it's not natural to me to
But
speak.
it is.
But it's
you don't
not.
think it is,
I know.
but it totally is
So
because you're a relationship builder. You are.
See, they have to talk me into coming on this show, y'all.
Well,
That's totally not it. But that concept right there of you not necessarily like seeing yourself sit here and talking to a mic and put on headphones, like that is so open and so honest. And so those that are coming, to sit in this chair for the first time or that chair, that's good for them because they're feeling the same thing, all of them. And we can't wait to see what they do. I'm hearing whisperings, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just so proud of our entire team. And I want all of them to have an opportunity to share in the stories of what's happening across the state. Not only how has it impacted them and the roles that they have within our team, but like how they do their job day to day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because when you're face to face with students and instructors in a lab and, you know, you get to go back and talk about that and say, hey, well, I noticed this and I noticed that, and let's improve this. Like, our main thing is to always be improving our processes so that no matter what, we put out the best product for our colleges to train on. So I want everyone in the state to hear the greatness that happens because of our team.
Yeah.
It's not just about one person. There's no I in team. And so I think it's so important that everybody get to know the different team members that we have and the impact that they play, because it's huge. And I can't wait for Matt and Tom to talk about what's happening in the high schools across the state, and the curriculum team to talk about where they started and where they are now with things. And like, I mean, they're getting peppered every day with new course ideas, and this course may work a little bit different than that course, and just kind of the flexibility that team has to have. And I mean, Kayla's marketing team has expanded and grown in the ways that we're trying to support our colleges. Like, everybody needs to hear all that. So I'm most excited to just hear kind of the impact that their work has, not just for them and how that helps them day to day, but like how that helps them find new nuggets of things to work through and new opportunities. So
And the rawness.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what sometimes as we all sit around a table with all of our teams, you know, they may not be quite as raw as they will be forced to be sitting here kind of collectively talking about things, you know. I hear from the curriculum team a lot, like, you know, how did we do that before? Well, we've never done that before. So there's no protocol. Nope.
Nope.
How do you want to do it? You know, and I know, so speaking of like, you know, change and constant process improvement, sometimes there is no process, you know, so we create it and we try it. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, moving on, we'll try it again, you know. So it'll be cool to listen to their perspectives, like unrehearsed, unguarded, unfiltered. That'd be
And
great.
we know some of them feed off of each other really well too, and they are funny and they're entertaining, and but they always have a great story to tell, and I think that's what's cool. It's going to be fun. Some fun episodes that are coming up.
Yeah. I'm going to have to let that go and let them, and not worry about what they're going to say.
You cannot.
I know.
You cannot. With abandon, you have to just, or unabandoned, let it be natural.
And that's why we're not live.
And I think it'll be
Don't
good.
out that.
So I was talking to Tom
We should go live.
a while back, and he was asking about it, and I said, "Well, everybody's going to be on, everybody's going to have a shot, but listen, we only got 45 minutes, bud." Okay. And you know, Tom, and I love him.
Oh, love Tom,
Love
yes.
bringing him on, and
We have a few talkers.
yeah. And so I'm like, hey, you got 40, and really, we're trying to shift a little bit shorter too. Just you know, 45 minutes is long. I've heard that, but my big question to our team members as they come on and do their thing, and it's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait. Is are they then going to make their family share the podcast on social media? Or share it themselves, because they sure don't now.
Or like,
we have-
subscribe, or follow.
We have
or any of it.
strategies for goals of listenership, or how do you say that? Viewership coming.
Rolled
Like,
out.
Yes.
I want to put it in their job description in their evaluation. Shared 20 out of 20 episodes on social media on all platforms. Like, and I say that to my family too. I'm like, hey, can you like that or share it or at least subscribe, kid? And he's like, oh no. And I'm like, well, okay. So
It
I'm hoping.
messes up his algorithm.
I
of
know.
what the
Yeah, it does.
recommendations.
But anyway, I'm curious if they'll actually make their family do that too, or and have that same internal struggle. It's like, well, I want my family like my show.
There's going to be a little pivot there, I bet, with some pride of like, ooh, I did good on that episode. Go listen to it.
We've got a lot of them that are avid followers. I mean,
Yeah.
listen to all of them. I don't remember whose screen. We were on a call not too long ago, and somebody's screen, I think it was Darlisha, that shared her screen while we were on a Zoom, and we were right there. Innovation Unplugged was literally right there. And I was like, oh, that's a thing of beauty. Like, it was not, I don't even think it was like a release day. I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was you, Darlisha. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was just right up there. So we have some avid listeners, avid followers on our internal team for sure.
Yeah. So we're unofficially working through, I guess, the order they came on the team. You know, Sandy's coming on today, and it just worked out the schedule. Sandy and then Matt and then Rachel, Destiny, and Molly kind of mixed in. Last summer we had a huge summer of hiring folks, and so it'll be fun to also see their progression of, because they call us the OGs. I don't know what they really call us behind our back, but
Or what that stands for.
Yeah.
I've wondered. Do they have a dual? I don't know,
We don't wanna
words
know what
for
they-
what OG means, and that don't care. Let them.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
but it'll be okay. It'll be fun to see what they say though, and how they respond. Because then, Adela and Drew, when they come on, like they fresh out of the gate, they're still on their first lap.
They're still
Yeah.
trying to decide if they want to stay.
Yeah. So it'd be fun
Like
to see
moths to a flame.
that story
Coming
change. And some of them are pretty serious, but I'm really excited about that and to see how they go. What's one thing if we could make a pivot to how we do this? We come in studio and see creative, and it's phenomenal. But what's one pivot in how we would record, or where we would record, or what's the one if we could do, and it would be perfect? What would be the best thing for you? What would be the most fun?
In-person live at a lab.
Agreed.
Yep.
Hands down. I was going to say live. I knew
Live.
I knew you were feeling it. That's
Like,
exactly what I was going to say.
Rick and Bubba go out to the golf tournaments, and they have all the guests come on and all the players come on. Like, I just think that'd be cool. Like, invite some students on, invite the instructor on, and I mean the employers, industry that comes to the labs. Like,
put them in a
how
seat.
cool would that be? Just
That would be
to pepper all
cool.
of those guests in, and in the background, you don't see our banner. You
Yeah.
see a live lab
we-
happening.
Yeah.
So.
Was that a windshield moment just then? Like,
Yeah, I
did
think
we
so.
literally just figure out the next thing?
Well, we thought about that at WOA last fall. We actually, and we put some time in it because all the directors, workforce people were coming into that Sunset Point restaurant, and we were going to set up there on the bay or on the
we did.
harbor.
That would have been cool.
But there was a hurricane coming, so we didn't do it.
Not the right time.
And the next WOA event is actually at Clanton, I think, which is a nice facility, but not like a yacht harbor
Yeah.
or a lab. But there are several academies and things moving.
But why
We
at
belong in
Sunset? And explain why we were going to do it at Sunset Point. Explain why.
because that was because the sunsets are amazing. No,
That and
because that was where our food and beverage
There you
course was filmed. Our very first course was filmed there, and so we were going to bring it all back and bring them on. But I think that would be a really fun live show. Now we're going to yell at people like that are walking by,
We
right?
should just tell Panini Pete we're coming.
Yeah.
Like, that is a monumental, or we could just go do it in the dirt. We do it better in the dirt. All of our courses that are in the dirt are fantastic. I mean, not like other ones are not, but the dirt ones, man, they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the best place. Calhoun's got a nice spot. Shelton's got a really cool spot. There's some other folks that have a dedicated spot for the heavy equipment.
Yeah.
That would be super fun.
Oh, we can make it happen.
Who
We'll
has
figure-
the labs that run like 10 machines at a time?
That's Calhoun.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be cool in the
Yeah.
background.
Those are sitting out there. They actually moved the line worker yard back off the road for noise. But when you drive by Calhoun, the main campus is on the right. On the left side is the heavy equipment operator course, and then the line worker course.
Yeah.
And there's some crossover there. So
What if we were in an 18-wheeler? What if we were in the dark down Dothan, running their courses in the dark in their trucks? That would be fun.
we could if they didn't have somebody put gasoline in their diesel truck. So we can't ride in that one. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe another
no,
one.
but I love that idea though. But those sleeper cabs would be
We could
fun.
talk on walkie-talkies.
We could.
What
make
is that show? Taxi Cab?
No.
Ooh, taxi cab confessions.
No.
That
No,
would be
gosh,
fun.
no.
We could play a game
No.
from truck to truck.
This is why we don't go live, people. This is
But this is how the creativity just, ideas
We
come
feed
to
off of
fruition.
things. Not that that's it, but we just feed off of it. Yeah.
Just an idea.
So a live show. Okay. So that's.
And this is
Julie's.
where Houston gets scared.
No. Listen, I have the least filter of everybody here. I struggle not to say bad words on this show. So
Are we having truth moments?
no, I'm saying this is exciting to me because it's completely unfiltered, and I think we would.
What is that? We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah. We don't judge.
y'all both said that.
I didn't know that.
It's a whole social media thing.
Yes.
We listen and we don't judge. Like
You
that's
tell
the
one
whole
thing, like
yes.
you out yourself
It's
on
a
one
truth
thing with the
bomb.
team, and like
Yes.
we can't judge, we can't say anything about it. You
That's
just
a
say
lie.
your truth.
Everybody's judging. Her.
It's like,
No, we
the
don't
whole,
judge.
you see the whole dentist office and the
Yes.
dentist is sitting in the middle. The dentist is like, hey, when I go hide in my office and I watch, football all day instead of seeing patients. And then all the office staff is like, we listen and we don't judge.
That's
So
not true.
It's true.
They don't do that. They judge hard. Okay. So,
They just can't say it out loud.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you all have to listen to what each other says.
No, I don't want to play that game at all.
Houston said out.
No. But I do love a live show. Okay, so that was Julie's. Brandi agreed with the live show.
Live. Yep.
Sure.
Live or like a
Live on dirt
combination.
is what she
live
said.
on dirt, maybe live in a cab. I don't know, live at Sunset Point. Like I can be all about any of those. So live, but in a different.
Can I
setting.
have a second one?
What if we
Yeah.
did like once a
There are no
quarter, once a semester, once a quarter, we did somewhere live at a lab.
I love it.
Kind of
Love
make it a
it.
point
Yeah.
to change it up.
I vote yes.
Invite people.
I vote yes.
Agreed.
Okay,
Did you vote?
of course, it's my idea.
And we never have a tiebreaker.
Well, it's a quarter.
Find
Live on
numbers.
set. Live.
Right, yes,
What
we
do they
could.
call it? Live on like on location.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we need a van. You know what? We need to go back and listen to Rick and Bubba and figure out all the stupid stuff they did that didn't work, and don't do those things.
Ooh, let's do the frozen turkeys. We could throw frozen turkeys. Didn't they do that?
No,
No, you don't like the frozen turkeys.
there's liability there. They had a lot more money than we do. They were
Well, they were
millionaires.
throwing at people, just at each other. That could be fun.
No. All right. No.
Okay, moving on.
All right.
Kayla.
Kayla.
I think somehow incorporating businesses more into this. We do a lot of personal stories and people go
Great
through
point.
the courses. But I don't know if we could do a day in the life with a podcast or somehow, I don't know, incorporate a business and have them showcase their operation through podcast talk and lingo.
Let's pitch that today.
Okay.
We got in the afternoon.
Yeah,
We got two guests. We've got Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering. Their president coming on, Matt Massey, and then Jake Bonds from Shoal Engineering. And we're doing a social media push and an employment push with Shoal. So let's pitch that to them. Say, hey,
I like it.
we want to come and we want to follow you around and do it live on location and follow your guys out in the woods and
Like a day in the life, like a legit day in the life.
yeah,
Love it.
a day in the life podcast. I think that would be a super. I love both of those. What was
Love
your
it.
second one?
I forgot now.
Yeah, I
What's
think,
your idea?
two things: employers and live, or on their site, like at their place.
Mm-hmm.
Something not a documentary. I don't want to. We're
No.
not. We're not that kind of people. But and C Creative, obviously they could, but we need to go and show where our courses are really. What that pathway actually, we talk about pathways, but what that actually
Action.
looks like for
See it in action.
what a land survey technician actually does, and what a skid steer completer actually ends up doing
Yeah.
on the first day, which, be honest, they run a shovel for a little bit, and then if they show up to work, they get to actually get on the machine. But combining the live show with the industry show and some real feedback, I think that would be extremely important. And then our teammates would rock that because that's what they
Absolutely.
do all the time. Is
Yeah.
they're out there with the industry. Last night we saw a story, and this is my second. Maybe I bet this might be your number two. Also, is we get peppered with success stories. And last night there was a gentleman from CAC. That story from CAC, and so and I don't remember his name because it was late when I found it, but it was an amazing story written by CAC on this gentleman's second chance, and it was Grady's paving. Having those success stories on, but what you're asking that person to do who's lived a difficult life, made some decisions, it's not easy for them to come on and tell the whole world
Yeah.
about their life.
Yeah.
But some do, and some are happy to do that because they're proud of what
They know
they've
it
done.
Paying
can
it forward.
impact somebody
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think you mentioned impact, the impact that our team will have telling their stories. But I think if we make an intentional effort to go and capture those people and say, hey, we need you to tell the story and coach them up and maybe find a way. Maybe it's not here. This is intimidating. There are 4 cameras, 2 TVs, and all these microphones, and you're in set.
For those that are coming to host, it's
Yeah.
not. It's okay. We're ready to pass that mic.
But what if once a quarter,
Yeah.
we had the industry like on site, live on location with the industry, and we
Love
had
it.
a real impact story, and we go and we sit down, and maybe it's just one camera in a conversation, but that's why we do this.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's not for us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
all of
Yep.
this part's fun, but why do we even do all this work for those gentlemen from CAC?
Absolutely.
Okay, I remembered.
Yeah.
What was it?
Okay, so my next one is live on location nationwide because we have had
Nationwide.
so many
Huge
opportunities to share what the chancellor's vision was and Governor Ivey's challenge to support workforce across Alabama and credentialing as many people as we can to get them prepared for the workplace. And we've had so many opportunities to go nationwide and tell our story, different industries, different types of conferences. And I think it would be really cool, like if we were live on location nationwide
What's our
somewhere.
next one?
I don't know,
Hey,
but
can I go to Wyoming now since you bring that up? Can I go to Wyoming? I'm going.
yeah,
I'm booking it.
but something like that, just to show. I
have
mean,
thoughts.
this is
I have
impact.
thoughts I cannot tell right now. But I have
Impact in Alabama, but we've also been peppered with, how do we make this work in our state of whatever, Montana? And we've had those real conversations and real opportunities to learn from other states. And I think it's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, let's do
Heard
that.
it here, folks. We're going.
So those are
Great. And even at our we go to conferences that support our vendors too.
yeah.
On site at a vendor conference would be cool too. Like telling their impact on what we do.
And we
all
go
kinds
to-
of thoughts.
Is it
We
the
go to
same-
lots of association conferences too here in Alabama.
Those are fun.
And I
too.
can think of one that just, in the last 6 months, we've been really honed in on is with our judicial system. We talk about second chance and
Oh, there you go.
so many opportunities. We've been to several judicial conferences, drug court conferences, and y'all, they are probably my favorite ones to go to because day in and day out, they're trying to help somebody. They're not trying to hurt somebody and put them behind bars. They want to find those resources to keep them out of our correctional systems. And the questions we get at those conferences and just the amazement of what opportunities our colleges have now with Skills for Success, because it is quick. It is quick, but it's impactful and they can learn something. So live on location at a conference would be pretty cool too.
How about a press release?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Live on location at a press
At a
release.
press release.
So I'm picturing all these live on locations like
I want y'all to know that in the marketing world, there is a lot of hats that one would wear to make all of these things happen.
We have
will
a
make
team.
it happen.
See, this
We have
is
a
how our
team. You have
ideas
support.
start. And then
Yes,
we are here
people.
for
Yes.
you. And
And we rank-
I'm kind of
yeah.
sweating.
Yeah.
But this is what happens. We throw all this stuff out and then we rank it. What's most
Yeah.
important?
Yeah.
Where do we
See what
focus?
sticks.
Yeah, see what sticks.
Yeah.
well, we're gonna have to ask Nick what he ranks.
For permission.
We can pull it off.
Yeah, Nick,
Oh,
Nick said yeah. We can hear.
You're a saint, Nick.
So what I'm picturing though, these on-site things. You remember the Muppets? You had the two
Yes.
and Vernon Gary, the two old guys.
That's
and
great.
you
Who
know,
was that? What were their names?
I don't know.
Ooh, that's such a
Vernon
trivia
Gary,
question.
CBS Sports.
something.
No, I think
Yeah.
it would be phenomenal.
That'd be good.
Because in Tuscaloosa, where we are on game day, on homecoming,
Yeah.
there's always, even on game days, there's that radio show that's right there on the strip. And I'm like, that would be so fun. Now, they're doing other things that would make it fun too. But it would be so fun to have a live show where you just get to yell at people and bring them on. And they don't know what they
Totally.
were trying to walk by and trying to dodge you. And you called them out live.
Totally.
Yeah.
That would be fun. But these are some really, really good ideas.
Ooh,
I love this.
college career fairs.
Yes.
Too.
Our
Pull
career
people
fairs.
over like that.
Yeah.
Genuine. Hey, did you know? You
Mm-hmm.
know, look at what all, this college can do. Know about us.
We got some characters on our team that would be the Speedies and the
100%.
the ones that go out and get
Yes.
all those crazy radio shows.
Oh.
So I don't know, mate. That's fun. This would be a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good year. Everybody
If we
in
did
charge
just
of us is
one of
cringing.
those, if we did just one of them, it would be great.
Well, I will say too, like a year ago when we were talking about podcasts, we didn't really know
Yeah.
would we be consistent in one every Monday.
Yeah.
And now we're on episode 50, and I kind of, sit
Yeah.
here laughing. And next year,
But we did it.
hopefully look back and say, hey, we did some of those crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
And we said we were going to release one every other week, and now I'm like, nope, we're going back to every Monday.
We already agreed on this.
What? We going back to every Monday?
No, we are doing every other Monday.
Then we have we have to have special episodes.
There's turmoil. It's okay. We'll work through it.
Plans change.
figure it out.
We didn't have these ideas, Kayla, when we said every other week. We could.
Yeah,
You want to
we'll-
table
That's
this?
an
Offline.
offline.
We'll table this conversation until some other time. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. So my question is, I ask all the time to myself, it's like, would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Would you start this again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we're just it's so fun when we get in here.
Yes.
See?
It is fun when you get in here and you get to talking but it's still we want to share the love. We want
Yeah.
to share this fun with the rest of our team.
Oh,
yeah.
It's pretty cool. To have this opportunity and this platform We've heard from a lot of our viewers as well that they've learned so much to be able to take back to their communities, and several of our colleges' workforce teams. We've had directors and deans and others on that run Skills for Success on a daily basis, and it's just cool to have their perspective and how we can support them more.
And it feeds the soul,
it does,
too.
yeah.
And, depending on, who your guests are and what they say, I mean, it can, bring you out of a funk for that moment, or and it can last,
Absolutely.
However long. It just fills
and I think even back to several of our college presidents, we've had Dr. Hodges, we've had Brock Kelly, we've had others that their passion for serving their community and the gratefulness that they have for what Skills for Success has brought to their teams to be able to use, that just speaks volumes. Like that's why we're here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not here for us. We're here for our colleges. And so just hearing that and being able to share that, like we want more presidents on. We want to hear it, how can we help y'all even more? We've had new opportunities for new industries talks lately.
Yeah.
I'll share, our team got a great tour of Austell last Friday, and it was amazing to see what's being manufactured in our state and the jobs and the workforce needs that the port areas have down in Mobile. And so that's going to be really important in the future. And a lot of job opportunities still to come with new industry coming in and across the state. So we still have a lot of work to do. So it's cool to be able to talk about those things and strategize how we support them.
I agree.
So this time next year, so in 2026 in February, did we record our first one in December?
I think so, of 23. Yeah.
So we're about 14 months in here. Yeah. So let's give ourselves the same grace. So in April of 2026, we've done all these things at least once.
Oh, game on.
Yeah.
Easy, right?
Game on.
For this team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about where we are numbers wise, like impact numbers.
Oh, now? Okay. So
now versus
now.
a year from then.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're over 33,500 enrollments cumulative since the beginning of Skills for Success across our colleges.
You say 33,000?
Over 33,500. Yes.
It's like a small town.
I know. And we've had over 14,000 completers, and that number increases every single day because we have people going through of that 33,000, there's still students going through our courses and completing their labs. And so that number grows daily. And number of courses built, Brandi?
Close to 50. We're right at 49.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where we are today.
Okay. We'll take a picture.
Who knows where we will be in of 2026? April of 2026?
Yeah.
I say we have 100,000 enrollees.
Oh, no
by April
doubt.
26th.
No
The
doubt.
exponential growth we've seen, like if you look at it on a chart, good gosh. And if we still run about a 50% completion, that's half of a football stadium, half of a college football stadium. And we sit in Tuscaloosa, but, Auburn Stadium's bigger, I think. And so maybe that number's not quite right. But in either case, completions, that's a lot of people. That's half of a football stadium by April 2026.
How many courses?
Ooh. Gosh, let's say 70.
70 total. Okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
easy.
Because we build Skills for Success, and we're doing some professional development. So,
So that's 50,000 completers. That's a lot of humans.
Okay, what do we need? We need more.
We need more money.
Thank you.
We need more money, honey.
more
So,
money.
Show me the money.
well, so we do a lot with grants, but also like the state legislature is working on our budget, and they've been so good to us from the get go.
Yes.
They gave us money and had
Absolutely.
no idea what was going to happen, and we've done some amazing things with it. We've pushed and we pulled. I think we've squeezed the most out of every dollar,
No,
to help the most people across the state.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and done far beyond what anybody expected. And now that we have a really good model, we probably have to pivot a little bit and go after certain targeted goals, which is fine. We build it, and now we're going to refine it. And then, this time next year, we say, how many incumbent workers have we trained? How many, and can we track how many of the high school students have gone on into either dual enrolled or enrolled in a program that matches what they took with us, or how many just got jobs?
Yeah,
absolutely. So those three different pathways. and we pivot. That's what we have to do. I mean, this is our 5th year.
Yeah.
Of 20. So we started in 21.
That's crazy.
So we're just starting to 2025. So this is our 5th year of operation. You don't in a small business, you don't even expect to make money in the first 5 years.
Right.
Like you're not taking a check because you're still building and growing and pushing, much like us. And so in 2026, we've done 100,000 registrations, 50,000 completers, 70 courses or more. How many incumbent workers have we trained? Have we tagged every state association to a course? That's what we're working on.
Absolutely.
Have the industries been involved more? So we have all these metrics. I think we're like a bottle rocket and the fuse is lit, and it's like fizzing in the stand. And it's about to go, be these big fireworks. I think we're at that point where big things are about to happen. Because we've pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. We got a lot of attention on it.
Yes.
So it's good stuff.
Love
Good
it.
stuff.
Love it. Love it.
All right. We're going to break the internet this year, apparently. all these goals. You guys are amazing.
So are
Right back at you.
you. I
It's
know.
Right
All
back
of y'all.
I was reading work memes and like, we're more than a workplace. We're a family. Well, yeah. It's been good. Man, 5 years of this and a year of this show. And, I can't wait to see what happens next.
No, me neither.
Neither.
Always fun. Always fun.
Game on.
Challenging, but fun.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, that is episode 50 for Innovation Unplugged. Please go like, subscribe, and follow on all your social media platforms. Thanks so much.
Bye.